Hello everyone, it's Michaela Valletta, also known as the Renaissance Amazon, and I started recording this video on YouTube Live, but because I'm in Colombia, every time I do a live it's really blurry, so I decided to just record it on my regular camera and then upload it. But I am going to go live on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it is the_Renaissance_Amazon_81. Let me go live here too. Hold on, internet connection here isn't the best. Okay. Hello everyone on Instagram and everybody on YouTube. So usually I do my videos live on IG and live on YouTube, but because I'm in Colombia, I notice every time I do an IG and YouTube live, it ends up being very blurry because the internet connection here is good, but it's not as high speed as it is back home. So for the people on Instagram where I am going live, please let me know if you can see me clearly. Let me know if the video is really blurry. If it is, I'm sorry. You can always catch this on YouTube. So today I want to talk about Kim Kardashian, the Kardashian family, how women who are sex symbols are always misjudged. And, you know, there's been recent articles coming out about Kim Kardashian freeing people out of jail, okay, working in silence to free people from jail. Now I think it's like 17 people, or maybe she recently freed 17 people, right? And I've always hated the fact that people always act like she's stupid, and they act like that family is so horrible, right? Now, I have a totally different opinion about Kim Kardashian and the Kardashian family. One thing is I feel united with all showgirls, right? So showgirls being, it could be a swimsuit model, it could be a stripper, it could be a promotional model, it could be a porn star. Any woman who is a sex symbol and she's sexy and she stands in that power, people always act like those women are stupid, right? And I have very much been aware of this since I was in graduate school. It wasn't, my deodorant. It's hot. It wasn't until when I was in graduate school, that's when I started to model, right? And when I say modeling, like when I was a kid and I was like 12, 13, designers and photographers and agents will come up to me in the street in New York and want me to come to castings and stuff for modeling. And my mom would take me and they would always tell me, oh, you'd be so perfect if your butt wasn't so big, you know, because I was a thin girl, but I always had a booty. They would tell me that. And I'd be thinking, well, you asked me to come here, right? And so then I remember, when you had the whole video girl thing. And I hated how people misjudge girls in music videos. People act like every girl in the music video is a hoe. Every girl in the music videos is disrespecting herself. And that's the only perspective that we ever heard. Instead of, but what I saw in a lot of music videos, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, was that there was a boom of gorgeous black women who we never would have seen before, because these girls never would have been accepted by the fashion industry, who wanted anorexic, super skinny girls. We never would have, so the hip-hop urban industry actually welcomed the body types of black women, you know, of more voluptuous black women. And there was no other industry that would have showcased these women. A lot of these women were overpaid, and not always were they disrespected in a video or by artists, not always. There's some videos, like a lot of Outkast videos that had, like I remember when I first saw K-Toy Johnson, I remember opening up the Outkast album and seeing K-Toy Johnson and being like, wow, like who's that, you know? And there was nothing disrespectful about Outkast videos. And so, like, I just felt like we always heard that. And then so for me, when I was, in grad school, I probably started doing like artistic modeling in 2004. I wanted to do fitness stuff. I wanted to do fitness modeling because I was a trainer, I was a nutritionist, and I see all these fitness magazines. If you look at all the fitness magazines, you barely see black women, right? It's usually white girls. And I'm thinking, I was writing articles at the time. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I can get paid twice. Like I could be the fitness model, and I'm a trainer, I'm qualified, I have degrees in the field, and I was writing articles. So that was my thinking. But at the time, the fitness industry, modeling industry was in LA and Nevada, right? And I was in New York. So, there was at the time there was a network called One Model Place, and one photographer saw me, asked to shoot me before One Model Place actually, and he put my photos on there. And then other photographers began to contact me. At the time, I was like super uncomfortable in my skin. Like at the time, and I have a video about that on my page, The Renaissance Amazon, where I talk about how I grew into being comfortable in my skin. But when I first started posing for photographers, I posed for them because they're artists. People forget photographers are artists. They were inspired by me. Like I wasn't comfortable in my skin. I didn't think I looked great naked. At the time, like any dude I was dealing with, like we had to have sex with the lights off. I didn't want the lights on, and men are very visual, so they want to look at things, and I was like super self-conscious. But because I was open-minded, I said, yeah, okay, I'll do the photos. And I remember back then I used to do lingerie shows. I remember doing, I don't know if you know All Hip Hop, allhiphop.com. I remember doing a show for them, and I was actually supposed to wear clothes, and they had fitted me for it. And then I get to the show, and they're like, we need one girl to be naked and painted, and they wanted it to be me. And I remember I didn't want to do it because there were going to be people coming to the show who knew me as a writer, because I used to write articles. Now that's my twin brother. But I used to write articles, so I was a published health and fitness journalist. I wanted to be taken seriously as a trainer. And so I worried about people taking me seriously if they came to the show and saw me naked on stage, even though I was going to be painted. So I didn't want to do it, but people begged me, and I did it. And I remember people didn't forget that for a long time. For a long time, I would be at events, and people would be like, oh, I think you were that girl that was naked on the stage at All Hip Hop show, right? And Chuck Creekmore, one of the founders of All Hip Hop, recently sent me that photo. One of the photos, like a legendary photo. And I remember being in graduate school, right? At Columbia University in New York City, Ivy League school. And I had to work hard to get in there. I'm smart. I'm a science nerd. And I remember sitting in the class and thinking, like, people knew me. This is before social media. Like, some people knew me as a dancer, and they knew that. Some people knew me as a trainer. Some people knew me in academia. And I remember sitting in class and thinking, when people, like last night, I might have been dancing at a party. Like, there were a lot of artists that would ask me to dance at a party in a bikini up on the platform. Like, I was never a stripper, and no disrespect to strippers. I thought about it before. I actually thought about it when I was in my early 20s, but I thought, like, I'm too shy for that. A lot of you who don't know me, you don't believe that I'm shy, but ask anybody I know. I'm shy. Like, I'm not completely shy because I wouldn't be sitting here like this right now, but I'm a lot more shy than you would think. And I'm definitely too shy to be a stripper. Like, now that I know more about the business, I don't agree with the business of how the business works. So that's another reason why I wouldn't do it. But when I was younger, I didn't do it because I was like, it's not my personality. I'm not the one to be kissing up to dudes, and like, it just wasn't, my thing. I'm like, if you want me to go up there on this platform and tell me you're going to pay me $200 to dance for an hour, so I know how much money I'm making, I'm up on that platform, I don't have to interact with people, you can see me, but I don't got to pay attention to you, I'm fine with that. But the way strippers interacted with their audience, and to me it seemed like they're begging for dollars, wasn't my thing, right? And then I thought, when I saw what they did in the poll, I was like, I can't do that. I don't have those skills. So that's why I didn't do it, right? But I have never had, any ill feelings or disrespect towards strippers. But I remember thinking to myself, I might have been, like, last night dancing at a party in a bikini or doing a lingerie show. And today I'm sitting in a class at Columbia University, and people think, when people see me up in that, on that platform dancing, because there are some people in the industry who every time they saw me, they might have seen me 3 times, and 3 times they saw me at some industry event being half naked, being painted in front of people. It happened to me at a Wyclef party, a party Wyclef threw for his sister, a birthday party where they wanted 3 girls to be body painted, and we were told that we were going to have on a thong. And when the artist showed up, who was a white European woman, famous artist, she told me, it ended up only being me. The other 2 girls disappeared somewhere. And she tells me, oh, they have to be butt naked. And she's like, and I was like, well, I was told I was supposed to have on a thong. She's like, oh no, darling, you're my canvas, you're my canvas. And, just going on and on saying I'm her canvas and I have to get naked. And she put all this paint on me in front of everybody and I'm butt naked, surrounded by cameras. And that was just I think I talk about that in my other videos. But the thing is that I've always resonated with showgirls, girls who are half naked, girls who are sex symbols, and people automatically write you off as being dumb. And people do that to me all the time. That's why I always have to let people know. There's so many times, that I'm expressing my opinion. And I will tell you in a second, I'm an intellectual snob. I don't like stupid people. I have very little fucking patience for idiots. And I got that from my father, okay? I'm very close to my dad. I talk about my dad all the time. And my dad is an intellectual. He's one of the smartest people I've ever known. And he has very little patience for idiots. And I got that from him. He's worse than I am. He's worse than I am, and I tried to tone that down. But I don't have a lot of patience for idiots. And if people come at me sideways, I'm going to come at you sideways. And I'm very smart, but I will curse you the fuck out. Seriously. So there are people who, when I express opinions about things, and I don't speak on things that I don't know about. But there are times that I speak on things and people will tell me, oh, be quiet, go back to the pole, or oh, be quiet, that's why you half naked. So men always think, and women, always think that they can insult a woman like myself, like a Kim Kardashian. As soon as we have an opinion or we express that we're intelligent, they automatically want to diss you by saying, oh, because, you go back to the pole or go back to being naked. They think that automatically put you in this box. And I've always been aware of that. And I've always, and when it comes to Kim Kardashian, I have seen people constantly do that when they don't have the facts, right? They don't have the facts. And why do people always say that Kim Kardashian and that family, their claim to fame was the sex tape with Ray J? People always bring it up. People don't bring it up with Ray J. Ray J, to me, is insignificant as fuck. But people don't always, every time we talk about Ray J, you don't bring up a sex tape when he was in it too. And usually when sex tapes get out, it's because of dudes. Dudes are the ones who end up putting that stuff out there. People say that women talk too much, no, dudes act like bitches. And when I say a bitch, I'm not talking about a chick, I'm talking about a bitch. And I call men bitches more than I call women bitches. There's a lot of bitch-ass dudes. And it's dudes that do that dumb shit, Even when a girl's having sex with a dude or whatever, it's dudes that go yapping out with the mouth and telling people. Not women. Dudes, okay? So, first of all, we all have sex. We all have sex. And how many of us watch porn? Okay? I watch porn. I always watch porn. I have no shame with that. No shame with that. So, if I watch porn all the time, and I have sex, why am I looking down on a porn star, or why am I looking down on somebody who has a sex tape that came out? Like, why do people look at that like that's such a tarnishing thing to somebody's image? But yet you have people like Dre, Dr. Dre, that fucking idiot, who beat the shit out of a woman in front of a whole bunch of people. Beat the shit out of her. Not just slapped her, no. Slammed her head into a fucking brick wall, beat her up, chased her in the bathroom, beat her up some more. A man tried to help her. He knocked his teeth out. But yet Dr. Dre went on to keep being supported by everybody. Dr. Dre went on to have a successful career. Then him and Eminem made fun of that shit in songs. Then Dr. Dre comes out with some headphones called Beats by Dre. And everybody buys it. I didn't even know about Dr. Dre beating up D. Barnes. It was one of my older friends. Because when that movie Straight Outta Compton came out, which I think is a piece of shit, and I didn't even want to see that dumbass movie because I think NWA is trash, and I think that the police should have been harassing them. Somebody should have done more to them than that. Fuck all of them. Because including Ice Cube, because that shit happened because of him. And if you know that shit happened because of you talking at the mouth, and this dude did this and nobody's holding him accountable. I actually saw an interview recently from that time on YouTube where it was Eazy-E, and two other fuckers from NWA saying that she deserves to get it even more. Saying this on TV. But she's a little woman. And Dre was this big, strong dude. Fuck all of them. Okay? So that's okay, right? But then it's like, don't let a woman be a sex symbol. Don't let her have been half naked or had a sex tape. People never stop talking about it. But so many male rappers, Same thing I'll say about Cardi B. People act like Cardi B's stupid. Cardi B's not dumb. She's not. But just because she was a stripper once, everybody acts like she was. And then dudes keep complaining, oh, she used to rob dudes. She used to rob. How many of your male rappers have violently robbed people and then rapped about it in songs? How many male rappers that all of y'all listen to that have been straight up disrespectful to women, have bragged about attacking women, have been bragged about fucking your bitch, have bragged about robbing people at gunpoint, murdering people, and sometimes have actually done those things, and then they glorify it. Cardi B never glorified what she did in any of her songs, okay? That was an old interview that came out. But yet, here comes some bitch-ass dudes, got their panties in a bunch, can't stop bringing that shit up. Yet you were fine with Biggie, talking about he needed to sell crack to feed his daughter, which is the dumbest shit I ever heard. And Biggie beat Faith because of some shit that Tupac said. You know what I'm saying? To me, Biggie was like the ugly dude who girls didn't like, so he hated women. He hated women. And then when he got some money, he got some girls to be around him. And then he wanted to just hate on women. These hoes this, these hoes that. When you bought that car and those chains and all that to attract women, because you have to give something to get something. So if you're fat and ugly, why would a pretty woman want to be around you? So now if you have money and now you get a certain type of woman around you, don't fucking complain about that shit. Be thankful you have money, because the other consequence situation could be that you don't have money and your ass just sits there forever not having a pretty lady touch you. Now, what man wants that fucking fake? Okay? So anyhow, with the Kardashians, I don't watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians all the time, but I have seen that show over the years. And I think that they are a very well-knit family. So when people keep saying the family is sick and the family has issues, I will tell you that as a grown person, I've heard some of the most disturbing stories from so many people who told me they saw their father beating their mother, who told me that their father was molesting them and their mother didn't stop it, or their stepfather was molesting them and their mom didn't stop it, or the mom was encouraging it. I've heard so many people tell me sick stories about their childhood and about their families. And they're usually really religious families. But yet in the Kardashian family, we see none of that. We see no abuse, no physical abuse, no sexual abuse. They're really close. They love each other. They support each other. They make money together. And the mom is the boss, right? The mom is the boss. There's so many families where you got fathers, like the Jackson family. Look at the father was the boss. He was the one behind that. And what did he do? Abuse the shit out of all those kids to the point where they were all fucking weirdos. Because every single last one of the Jacksons are weird. Okay? And they definitely had some serious trauma going on in their childhood. And they weren't even close when they grew up like that. You could tell that Michael and Janet and LaToya, they didn't talk to each other on a regular basis. But with the Kardashians, they're close. They're very tight-knit. They care about family. Okay? And the woman, you know, one thing about reality shows, because I do watch Love and Hip Hop, I do watch Atlanta Housewives, even though none of those women are housewives, they're all businesswomen. And that's why I like that show, because every single woman on Atlanta Housewives is a businesswoman. And me being a businesswoman, having my own brand, I like to observe how they do things. That's why I watch that show. I don't watch the show because of the drama, right? But the Kardashians don't even have drama on their show. They never get into fights, nothing like that. You know, when Rob decided to get involved with Blac Chyna, all of his sisters tried to tell him not to do it. And you know what he did? He whined and complained. Oh, my sisters are picking on me. Oh, my sisters doing me, blah, 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 blah. No, your sisters were smarter than you. And they were right. And when people say that, talk about the Kardashian curse, no, they're just too empathetic and they choose whack men. Kim didn't make Kanye crazy. We all know Kanye was already off balance. She's more sane than him. Kim and everybody in the Kardashian family, they have never said or done anything to offend anyone. Kanye has done way more offensive shit to black people than they've ever done. Okay? Kim worked on Hillary Clinton's campaign. Kanye's over here wearing Trump hats and supporting him, right? And when you go back to old shows, that Kim and her sisters, they actually ran a business. Some people say they don't do anything, it's not true. They're businesswomen, all of them. And they had a clothing store called Dash in LA that the three sisters ran together. And when that show first started, they showed that for a few years. They were actually working in the store. They showed them hiring people. They showed them making business decisions. Then they showed when they decided that they wanted to open up a store in New York. And they wanted to open up a store in Miami. And they showed the episodes where they went to New York to find a space. They went to Miami to find a space. All that business stuff. And I would love to own something one day. So I always used to watch that, and I admired their business. Then they got to the point where they made so much money, they decided not to do that anymore. Now, Kim being a promotional model, and she had 2 babies. Those 2 babies damn near killed her, and she shared that on TV Live. You know, the issues that she was having with her pregnancies. That's why her last baby and this new one coming is born by surrogate, because she had serious complications. But to make money, to need your body to make money, whether you're an athlete, because athletes make money off of their body, but nobody has a problem with that. But whether you're an athlete, whether you're a dancer, or whether you are a promotional model, swimsuit model, whatever, Vegas showgirl, stripper, all these things, they need their body to make money. So Kim, after having babies, that was damn near killed her. She had to then get back in shape, you know, because that was her how she made money. And then you had to be professional, you know, show up and do your job. Kim has never there's never been any stories about her ever being on drugs, ever being an alcoholic, ever disrespecting anybody. Not one story, okay? But then we have Kanye over here, who's having an emotional breakdown on stage after his girl gets robbed, and he's crying and cancels all these shows. Number 1 rule in show business, the show must go on, no matter what. You had Tina Turner, who was getting her ass beat, and she still went on stage and put on a great show. But here we go with Kanye's bitch ass. He doesn't do any dancing. He doesn't have to memorize a new choreography. He doesn't have to put on a complicated outfit. He just stands up there with his dusty ass clothes and talks, talks, okay? Doesn't have to have vocal skills. Easiest performance. You getting a whole bunch of money to stand there and talk in an ugly outfit. Takes you 2 seconds to get ready. You don't have to do makeup, none of that. And you can't get through that, Kanye, because you're stressed. That's some bitch ass shit, and I've never seen any performer do that. You don't deserve to be a performer, to get paid if you are going to act like that, okay? So, but meanwhile, Kim, on the other hand, has been professional. When she got robbed, people kept saying, oh, she's so flashy. She's so flashy. No, she's not. Look at her. Look at her photos. Kim doesn't wear a lot of jewelry. Kim doesn't brag about what she has. How many rappers do we know that be having these big chains and they are in videos like, look at my chain, look at my gold teeth, look at the car I drive? How many rappers do that? Kim is not like that. But then people act like, oh, she got robbed because she's too flashy. She sold off too much. No, she don't. She doesn't even hardly wear jewelry. Look at her photos. So it's like people lack critical thinking skills. They just automatically are so determined to put her in the dumb box. Oh, she's so stupid. That family is sick. She deserves that. Based on what? Because from the very beginning of that show, like years ago, I remember her always talking about how their father used to take them to Skid Row all the time in LA. And if you've never been to Skid Row, it's one of the worst places I've ever seen in the United States, where as far as you can see, you just see tons of homeless people outside who are on drugs. I mean, I've never seen anything like it in New York. I've never seen anything like that anywhere except LA. Skid Row is awful. And she said that when they were growing up, her father always brought them over there to show them how lucky they are and how thankful. Not only brought them over there, but they did work. They tried to do stuff. So, you know, there were episodes when her and Chloe took this homeless man and took him to the dentist and got him new teeth because he didn't have any teeth and he just had all gums. And they took him and cleaned him up, paid for that. Okay? There's a lot of people that don't do stuff like that. And so now you have Kim saying she wants to be an attorney. And she's doing it with Van Jones, who said that she is working very hard. And actually, the route that she's going is a harder route. But everybody's like, oh, I don't believe that. Oh, Kim Kardashian. Oh, why? Just because she's a beautiful woman who has made money off her body, because she's a sex symbol, you don't think she's smart? Come on. And that's the thing I don't like. But yet people act like a dude could have sold crack and been a drug dealer, been an ex-goddamn convict. But yet he's worthy of praise and to be given another chance. You got dudes that sell drugs and do horrible things. They make way more money than a stripper ever will. Or any, like, if you think strippers, that the most money that they make does not compare to the amount of money that drug kingpins make, who are destroying hoods, okay? I hate gangster movies. I don't watch none of that shit. Even American Gangster. American Gangster with Denzel Washington. It took place in Harlem. I tried to watch that. I don't have attention span for those kind of stories. And actually, my dad was in the documentary. There's a documentary, American Gangster documentary. He was in that documentary talking about that, about some Harlem gangster. I don't care about none of that gangster shit. But dudes are like to, people think that that's okay. That's okay. But then a girl like me, who might have on a bikini and shaking it or whatever, then you automatically like, oh, she's stupid. She don't know nothing. I can't take her seriously. Yada, 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 yada. All you people are dumb for thinking that. When people say that family has a curse, no, the dudes they deal with are just bitches, okay? They're bitch-ass dudes. You have Bruce Jenner. That mom did not make him into what he was, into getting all those surgeries and saying he wants to be a woman. He was an ex-Olympic athlete. When you have athletes who are on that level, a lot of athletes who have won gold medals, they are obsessed with winning. I mean, I was an athlete. I played basketball. I ran track. I fenced, soccer, and softball, and a little bit of tennis. And I am competitive. I like to play sports, but I'm not so obsessed with winning that I'm willing to do anything. Athletes who win gold medals, and studies have shown this, they are so obsessed with winning that they will do anything a lot of times, That's why they're so quick to take drugs. And as a track athlete, there's only but so far you're going to get if you weren't taking drugs. And it's like, I don't want to win that bad. I'm not going to do that. So when you have those high-level athletes, they're so connected to sports that some of them, when they stop being that high-level athlete, they don't know what to do because they want the attention. So I think that Bruce Jenner was just jealous. Like people say women are emotional. No, a lot of dudes are more emotional than women, okay? I think that Bruce Jenner couldn't take the fact that the woman in the family would get more attention than him. So he said, let me turn into a woman and get a sex change and then I'll get attention. That's what I think is Bruce Jenner's problem. I don't think that the mom did anything to him to make him that way. Then you have Khloe Kardashian's first husband, Lamar Odom. He was a crackhead before her, and she tried to support him through that. Nobody in that family is on drugs. You never heard one story about any of the Kardashians being a drug addict. You never heard one story about any of them being drunk somewhere, acting stupid, getting in a fight, being disrespectful. Never. Never. But there's so many people that we've heard that about. And so you want to blame Lamar Odom for being a crackhead and not being able to get his shit together on Khloe Kardashian? That's ridiculous. And then she gets with this new dude that she had a baby by, Tristan. That was a bad decision on her part. I think that those women have bad judgment with the men that they choose. But I don't think they're responsible or the reason why these men are stupid as fuck and do dumb shit. Or, go downhill. Now, Tristan Thompson, I think he's a narcissist. I have videos where I talk about narcissists. Narcissists are very manipulative. So when people bring up the fact that she got with him when he was just, leaving, he already had a pregnant girl, who knows what she told Khloe? I think he probably told Khloe lies that she believed. I think that because when you're not a bad person, and it's happened to me, when you're not a bad person, you don't believe that people would be doing fucked up shit. So a lot of times you just believe people. And as a woman, sometimes you start getting of a certain age, you're like, I want to have kids, I want to have a family. And that was something that was important to all of them. You stop being so picky because you're like, I can't wait forever. Men, y'all could wait forever. Men could be 45 still like, maybe I want to have kids. Yeah. Women can't do that. Like 20 years prior to that, we need to be thinking about it. And on that show, Khloe Kardashian was told that something was wrong with her eggs. That she wasn't producing enough eggs, and she was basically told that she was like infertile or something. And Kim showed on that show the pregnancies with her the problems with her pregnancies, her 2 pregnancies, which damn near killed her. And she showed that. I respected her a lot because a lot of people wouldn't want to show that to the world, And then you have the older sister, Courtney, who had 3 babies on television, and that's important because before reality shows, there was never any discussion of women's fertility on TV. We never saw women having babies, except if it was like the Cosby Show, or some stupid TV show where the woman was screaming at the top of her lungs, telling her husband she wants him to die. That is not how women act in labor. And I bet you every single man who's seen a woman in labor can say that. Women don't scream at the top of their lungs in labor. You're in too much pain for that. Instead, women are moaning. It's deep moans. Nobody acts like that. So we have this misrepresentation of this all these years. So anybody who's willing to give birth on television, I respect that, because you're showing, and it's hard to do. That's hard to do too. It's hard to give birth in peace when you're surrounded by a camera crew. So the fact that she did that, I also highly respect that, right? So nobody sees any of that. Now, Kim Kardashian moving in silence over here, freeing people from jail, okay? How many people are doing that could be doing that? She's using her position, okay? She's using her position to finagle. And, you know, the flip side of being a beautiful woman is, like, on the one hand, people can judge you and think you're stupid, want to put you in a stupid box. But on the other hand, a woman can use that to her ability too, because sometimes, like, you know, somebody like Donald Trump, simple ass. I don't think she likes Donald Trump at all. She was never a Donald Trump supporter. But because he's so simple, a pretty woman could get his attention, and a pretty woman can sway him. So to me, being a beautiful woman with a brain is actually a powerful thing, you know, because that woman may not be doing anything overtly to manipulate this man. She's not having sex with him. She's not doing anything like that. But just because she's pretty, he might be listening to her more than if she wasn't. Like, I know that if I wasn't sitting here right now in this bikini, and if I was like, had, you know, horrible pimples on my face, and I was short, and I was fat, and I was cross-eyed, none of y'all would be listening to me right now. You wouldn't. So, looks matter. And on the one hand, people love beautiful women. And all you men, you want to see beautiful women. But on the other hand, you want to diss beautiful women and act like they're less than. So what if all the beautiful women say, you know what, I'm going to cover up, I ain't showing nothing. And you couldn't go on Instagram and see all the Instagram pages of gorgeous women, and y'all couldn't see that anymore. How would y'all feel? So to me, I feel like you should be thankful and shut the fuck up and stop trying to insult women like that and think that they're stupid just because they are half naked. People did that to Beyonce too. For years, people kept acting like Beyonce is stupid. Beyonce's not stupid. And I've made videos about Beyonce, and I have more things to say about Beyonce after, you know, her Coachella performance, which I wanted to say last year after her Coachella performance. But I have more things to say about how I respect Beyonce. But today, I wanted to talk about this Kim Kardashian, the Kardashian family, how people just unfairly judge her and that family. Because I see a family that's tight. I see a family that loves each other, supports each other, has each other's back. And a lot of y'all don't have families like that. There's a lot of y'all that come from families with all kinds of sick shit going on. Your uncle done abused your sister. You done seen your father beat your mom. Your dad left the family. You ain't seen him in 20 years. You didn't know who your father was. A lot of y'all got stories like that. That's a fucked up family. That family has issues. Not a family that was loving and together and supports each other. Okay? And so I just feel like people really lack critical thinking skills. People are so quick to put things in a box. And this is the reason, like earlier today, I had to correct somebody who posted a picture of this beautiful black woman. And he said, you know, if God was reincarnated or God came to earth, this is what God will look like. And I'm like, no, not God. Goddess. Goddess, okay? There's a difference between God and goddess, okay? Under the matriarchal traditions, you had goddesses who were naked. You had goddesses whose nipples were out. You had goddesses with their legs wide open, you know, wide open, exposing everything. Goddesses whose legs were wide open with a baby's head coming out, or with menstrual blood, or nothing, right? But it's under matriarchal traditions, sexuality was understood to be a part of a continuum with spirituality. Sexuality and spirituality are of the same continuum, and that was recognized in guided traditions. But here we come with the patriarchal religions that wants to put the fear of God in us, that wants to shun sexuality, especially a woman's sexuality, because it affects men a little bit, but not like how it affects women. Women are the ones that get shunned so much. So really, you know, Kim Kardashian is a manifestation of the goddess tradition. We are not one thing. We are mothers. We can be sexual beings. How do you get babies? From having sex. So why would that be shunned? How do you attract a mate to get you knocked up? by being sexy. We find this all throughout nature. So then why is that evil? Why is that so bad? Why is this woman so wrong? Because your brain is brainwashed with not theories, the values of patriarchal religion, which is rooted in the woman is the evil temptress. This is why I have a problem with Islam and those burqas and them covering up with all that stuff, and people act like it's so empowering. Oh, and the cover of Sports Illustrated, this girl's wearing this burqa on the beach. That looks silly to me. That's not empowering to me. What's empowering to me is a woman being butt-ass naked on the beach. Butt-ass naked, like, I don't care. Because that's actually the healthy thing. If it's hot outside, we need to get sun on our skin, especially when you have melanin. If you don't have melanin, then that's a different story. But if you have melanin, you need sun on your skin so that you can make vitamin D, so you can be healthy. Studies show that religious people, Muslims, whatever, even when they live in Florida, they have a vitamin D deficiency because they're always all covered up. And that's the problem. And the history of that comes from, in that religion, them calling the woman the evil temptress. Them saying that men can't concentrate when they're praying, so these women have to cover up because she's distracting him. So the woman is the problem for being a woman. Instead of telling these men, get control of yourself. If a woman walks by you butt naked, that doesn't give you the right to touch her or do anything. You have to ask permission. And all indigenous societies believed in asking permission before you kill that animal to eat, before you pick that herb or that vegetable to eat. Before you touch that woman's body, you ask permission. That woman is not your property. That land is not your property. That animal is not your property. Ask permission first. But instead of teaching that, they teach the men that they could do whatever they want. These men could do whatever they want. And that woman, she deserved it because she should have been dressed like that. She deserved it because she shouldn't have been doing this and that. There's bullshit. And I've never been raped. But I know a lot of women that have, and they weren't walking around even exposing anything. They might have been children. But regardless of what the woman is wearing, nobody deserves that. And you can't blame that on the woman. And I constantly see people continue to do that. And that comes from patriarchal religion. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Those are the three main patriarchal religions in the world. And they are a problem. And I will continue to say that. And I will continue to say that because I think for myself, because I wasn't raised with that bullshit. My brain wasn't washed with that. My brain has been washed with knowledge, true knowledge, and critical thinking skills. And so I use critical thinking skills. I'm not quick to just throw somebody in a box off of some bullshit. So I just wanted to, something I want to talk about for a while because it really annoys me. And it's always annoyed me how people act like she's just stupid. She's not stupid. And people will say that, and they're not even paying attention to anything that she's done. She's a businesswoman. They're all business people, Like, even if you come from a rich family, it doesn't mean that you're going to be successful. Everybody in the Jackson family ain't making money. Janet was successful, Michael was successful, but the rest of them are pretty insignificant. Like, what the fuck do they do? And then they're all traumatized from their fucked up childhood and their crazy-ass father and their mother who didn't protect them. That's not a family to be praised to me. But yet, people want to act like the Kardashians, the Kardashian curse, and blah, 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 blah. They're messing up these men. Learn how to think for yourself. Learn how to look at something and actually critically analyze. Learn how to get your facts first before you start saying stuff like that, because it's not true. And so I wish Kim all the luck. I think that her becoming an attorney is very good. Her father was an attorney. It's like my father was a professor. My father was a journalist and a civil rights activist, okay? So my brother is a journalist now, graduating from Columbia School of Journalism. My dad didn't have a degree in anything. He definitely didn't have a degree in journalism because he got kicked out of school for being involved in the civil rights movement. My dad's constantly telling me I need to write. Constantly telling me I need to write. I'm also a writer. And while I'm here in Colombia, I'm actually working on that. But it's in my blood. My sister, my brother, and myself, all are writers. And my sister didn't grow up with my dad the way my brother and I did. And she still is a writer. So you could say me and my brother saw my dad writing, and that's where it came from. It's in our blood. Me being an activist is in my blood. Both of my parents are activists. My mom is a very well-known, she was a union organizer. Now she was an international labor rep. She's retired, but she still counsels unions. She still organizes buses to go to D.C. to protest for things. My mother knows a lot of politicians. She knew Bernie Sanders before any of you did. She's been around Winnie Mandela's wife. I mean, not Winnie Mandela's wife. Nelson Mandela's wife in South Africa. You know, and that's the family I come from. So it's in my blood to be an activist and to care about the rights of workers, to care about the rights of people, to care about Afro-Americans in America, to care about black people in the diaspora, because that's what I come from. So that's what she comes from, you know? So to act like it's some far-fetched, crazy idea that Kim Kardashian could want to be an attorney, you know, is just stupid in all of your parts who want to put her in a box like that. So I just wanted to make this video because it's something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time, and today I found the time to do it. So I'm not sure if this video was blurry on this IG Live, but I'm recording it to also upload to YouTube. So if you don't follow me on YouTube, follow me at the Renaissance Amazon. And if you're on YouTube, you don't follow me on Instagram, it's the_Renaissance_Amazon_81. And I have so many books to work on. So I wanted to ask my audience, what would you like to see me write a book about? What would you like to see me write a book about? And I might choose based on that. Or I may do a video and give you the options and get you guys feedback about what you would like to see. So thanks for listening. Make sure you follow me on YouTube and Instagram. Make sure to activate your critical thinking skills and get your facts straight. And have a great day. Bye.